What did you like about your offense, and what frustrated you, if anything?
I thought there were a lot of good things to take away from that game. I mean, that was one of the top defenses in the conference, and to go on the road, I thought we moved the ball well at times and executed against, a really talented group. Frustrating third downs. I mean, I think we were 2 of 14, which is definitely not good enough, and you're not going to win many games converting like that. There were just some things I thought we had to do, execute a little bit better, a little cleaner on third down, which would have been nicer. And then in the red zone, we moved the ball on some things, and we had to settle for field goals. And in the end, I think that ended up being a little bit of the difference too. Is you can't go on the road and end up kicking field goals and expect to win. So, but I think a lot of good things, and I was pleased with the opening drive. I thought we moved it well, and a lot of good things to take away from it though.
Rank that Bradford one-handed snag.
Yeah, it was good to see. Shoot, we got him, the nickel they have, number 5, is a really talented player, and we just wanted to get Trayvon matched up, and they were coming up and kind of challenging us with a lot of press coverage, and wanted to take a shot, and it was nice to go see him make a play downfield.
What's the recipe for getting after the Ducks on Friday?
Just execution, just execution. I think we've got to, we always say execute at a high level for 4 quarters, and I don't know that we've done that, yet. And at times we've done it, and we moved the ball well, and we've been able to put up some points and run and throw the ball and do some things. And so I think that's for us, is take care of the football, execute at a high level for 4 quarters, and we'll give ourselves a chance.
Your first Civil War as a coach, as a part of this, what are you kind of seeing from this rivalry from the outside? Are you excited to be a part of it?
Yeah, definitely excited. I mean, this is one of those games, being from the Northwest, that, you watch every year, and I grew up as a kid watching it, and to finally, get a chance to be a part of it, I'm really excited for Friday.
Have you been involved much in a rivalry? I mean, Colorado-Utah not exactly screams rivalry. Idaho and Boise State doesn't exactly scream rivalry.
Idaho-Boise State used to scream rivalry. They don't even play anymore.
In one that's really, bare knuckles.
I felt when I was a player there at Idaho, that Idaho-Boise State game was a really big deal. That was really important, to both sides, and there was a lot of Vandal alumni that were living in Boise, and that was a big deal to us, that game. But since I've been coaching, not as much. Like you said, that at Colorado, they always talked about Nebraska.
Yeah.
I guess they get to play them this year, but no, I'm excited.
And you kind of missed some.
I should say, Colorado State was pretty good, and it was just really unique that they played it at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
But that was at Mile High, and it was a pretty neutral crowd, and it was that was an intense game.
The Duck linebacker, Dye, I think, has over 100 tackles. What are your impressions of him?
Good player. I mean, he flashes on film, and it seems like he's been playing there for a bunch of years. But really talented player. I think he runs sideline to sideline, physical. Just a good player that we're gonna have to deal with on Friday.
Oregon's got a lot of size on the defensive line. What will your offensive line need to do to be able to open up holes for Jamar, AP, and others, just to kind of establish the ground game?
Yeah, I think we've got to match their physicality. I mean, that's it's something I know that from a Jim Leavitt defense, those guys are pride themselves on playing physical and getting after you, and it'll be a challenge for our offensive line for sure to come out and match their physicality for 4 quarters.
Speaking of that,
glean from having coached alongside Jim Leavitt, kind of knowing what his defense is at least looking like to a degree.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, he's not super complex, with the stuff. But they, the thing is, I think they're super sound. He's one of the best football coaches I've been around. I've been fortunate enough to coach with. He gets those guys to play extremely hard. And shoot, we were, those years at Colorado when he was the defensive coordinator, we were damn good on defense. And so, I mean, there's a little bit of familiarity there, just getting to call a bunch of scrimmages and fall camps and spring football against them there. But I think, both of us have offensive defenses that have kind of evolved a little bit since it's been a good 2 years ago.
How tough was it to see Coach McIntyre let go in Boulder?
Yeah, I think that's a frustrating thing. I mean, always this time of year you see, guys that you'd worked with or friends that, that happens too. And I think it's unfortunately, that's just something that's part of the business. But I think if people look at the body of work or where that program was when we first got there. I think in 2013, and then where it's gone now. I mean, he's accomplished a lot of great things there.
Can you talk about your senior class and what they've contributed to this first year?
Yeah, I think there's a good group on both sides of the ball, and you know, I think we've talked about just kind of, you know, building a foundation, you know, for how we kind of, you know, moving forward, how we want the future to end or be, and then you know, sending those guys out the right way. And I think it's really important for those guys to come out and the team to be able to work hard and give their best effort this weekend to hopefully send those guys out the right way.
Jamar's had such a great season. Just how impressive have you been with what he's been able to do, and where have you maybe seen the most growth in him this year?
Well, I think it's been super impressive for a freshman to come in and do that. A guy that didn't have spring football. That's really impressive. Just come and learn the offense and step in, and he really, to put up those numbers, he really wasn't even a starter going into the season. And yeah, I mean, he's been one of the pleasant surprises, and we're excited for the future of him for sure. His biggest, I think, thing that he's grown in is pass protection, and just his maturity. I think that's maturity of a young back. Is, you know, it's not only when you're touching the ball, are you a difference maker and a factor. You know, when the ball's going away from you, you're going to have to step up and pick up a pressure on third down. And I think he's still got a ways to go in that area, but I think he's started to take pride in that and really work at developing that. And you've seen his growth in that since the beginning of the year.
Jonathan mentioned this yesterday, but you know, he obviously hadn't been in the weight room like a college guy's had. Are you surprised that he hasn't fallen off a little bit the second half of the year, just given the workload and everything?
Yeah, and he's been a little dinged up, but yeah, I have. I mean, you know, I'm waiting for the time where, hey, we got to pull back and not give him as many carries, but it's hard to do on Saturday when he's running the ball, because when he touches it, he has the opportunity to turn it into a big play. But yeah, I've been a little bit surprised that he's been able to hold up given the number of carries that I think he's over 200 now for the year.